What if I told you there was only ever 3 reasons why people aren't buying your product or service? That's what we're going to cover today in Sales is Easy. My name is Devon Gall. I'm your friend and mentor in business marketing and sales. Let's get started. This is called the only 3 reasons they don't buy. And this applies to every single product and every single service being sold in the universe. All right? First is they're not in the market. Let's say you're going door to door and you're selling new roofs. Okay? Let's say you're renting. Let's say your prospect a renter. Are they going to buy your new roof for their landlord? For their landlord's house? No, they're not in the market. Let's say you're trying to sell me an iPhone. I use Android. I don't want that iPhone. I don't care if you're Steve Jobs. I don't care if you're Billy Mays. I don't care if you're the best salesperson in the world. I'm not buying an iPhone. I love Android. I'm not in the market. So if they're not in the market, you have to identify this quickly, and you need to disqualify them early and back out and break up quickly. Because what happens is you're really good at sales. That's why you're watching this video, and you're getting even better. But being good at sales, that means you're a master rapport builder. That means you're great at having conversations. That means you're a great conversationalist. That means you're great at making a friend. And you know what happens if you're talking for a long time with a person who isn't qualified? You're wasting time. You're losing other customers that are people that you could be talking to that are in the market. So you need to identify quickly if they're in the market or if they're not in the market. Now, just if they get objections or they're being a little, firm, that doesn't mean if they could still be in the market. You still want to probe a little. You want to have some discovery questions in that scenario. But if they're not in the market, break up. Move on to the next person. It's a law of averages, right? Talk to 100 people. Well, out of those 100 people, a lot of them aren't going to be qualified. Maybe 30%, maybe 40%. They're not the right people. They're not people you can actually sell to. So don't spend time with them. Don't get into great conversations with people you can't actually close. They don't trust the product or service. Now, this one's pretty easy to get over for a lot of people. You ask questions, you probe, you use discovery, you find out what's the major hesitation, what are they really worried about, right? You find out exactly why they don't trust the product, why they don't trust the service, they have this company, they use the product or service, they just don't use your product or service. So maybe they just don't trust your company, right? So you got to start asking questions and dig deeper, dive in a little bit. Build credibility. How do you do this? You build credibility with multiple ways. You can use big partnerships. A lot of big companies, you know what they do? They partner with other bigger companies, right? So you build credibility through using other business partnerships, other giant commercial deals that your company uses. Use testimonials. Other people love this. Let's say, I don't know, there's 10 million people that have your product or service. 10 million people can't be wrong, right? So use testimonials. Use how many people signed up in your area last month. We converted over 300 people to this ABC service just last month. So use these testimonials. Oh, I just signed up Becky down the street. She loves it, right? Whatever. Use the testimonials. There's multiple ways to use testimonials, but this builds credibility. This takes them out of that no one wants to be the guinea pig type scenario. Nobody wants to be the first. Nobody wants to be the lab rat or the test subject. So by using testimonials, say, hey, we already did this for Rebecca down the street. 300 people just signed up with us just this month. 10 million people can't be wrong if they all use our service. This creates credibility. This creates trust. This creates certainty. Use how many other people have already signed up. And there's no exact rule of this. How many people signed up today? How many people signed up this week? How many people signed up this month? How many people signed up this quarter? How many people signed up in this state? How many people signed up in the country? How many people? It doesn't matter. Just how many people signed up. When you do that, this kind of brings their relief down, but it also drives impulse up because other people are doing it now. If other people are doing it, I don't want to miss out. Technological advances. Hey, maybe your company was kind of behind the times back in the day, and people, the last real information they got about your company was 14 years ago from their cranky uncle. Oh, don't use that company, they suck, blah, blah, blah. Well, that was 14 years ago. A lot of things have changed. We've got new blank, we've upgraded this, we've done this, we've made major strides. We're actually the industry leader now. We're leaps and bounds ahead of the competitor in this area. Doesn't matter. Whatever technological advances you have, you can use these to build trust, build credibility, build certainty within your product or service. So this one's pretty easy. This is really your job, right? This is creating certainty within your product or service or your company, right? So it ultimately boils down to this one. Because we're not going to pitch these people. We're not going to spend too much time on that. This is easy to take care of, right? This is the real one. This is the real one you got to get a master at. They don't trust you. Maybe your energy's not great. Because if your energy's not great, your certainty's not there. Your excitement's not there. Your certainty's not there. Your credibility's not there. Because if you don't believe in it, they're not going to believe in it. If you don't trust your product or service or company, they're not going to trust your product or service or company, right? So if they don't trust you, ultimately they're never going to sign up. Maybe they do actually kind of want to do it, but they're not liking the cut of your jib, right? Do people still say that? I don't know. But they don't let you know how old I am. But they just don't trust you. Maybe they're going to call 1-800 your company as soon as they're done talking to you because they're really intrigued, but there was something about you that threw them off, right? So you got to be able to build trust in yourself, certainty, eye contact, excitement, smile, good image, good posture, good body language, great body language. These are like basic things you can do. Using measured pauses and silences instead of I don't know, because and I don't know all creates uncertainty, right? So use measured pauses, use dynamic silence, be the expert. I talk about this all the time. Being the expert means you know everything, but it also means you know exactly what to say and you know not to say every single thing. Being totally indifferent. Like, I don't care if you sign up. Like, I got 100 other people I got to talk to today. You can sign up or you don't sign up. I don't care. Then what's indifference? It's the opposite of desperation. Desperation is the worst deodorant, right? So if you're indifferent, this kind of is like the reverse psychology or whatever. It really brings the sales barrier down. It's just like the consultative sale is, hey, I'm here to show you your options. If it makes sense, I'll help you move over. If it doesn't make sense, great. Now you know it's not a great option. And I'll tell people, hey, maybe this doesn't make sense for you. And when you say that, it kind of like short circuits them. Like, aren't you supposed to be like hard closing me and pushing me into this? Aren't you supposed to be throwing discounts at me and trying to trick me into buying something that I don't need? No, that's not how I do sales. That's not how I teach sales. When you're totally indifferent, it's like you just show them all the options. You're super excited about it because you believe in it. And then if it makes sense, I'll help you. Doesn't make sense, have a great day. Always know in your head, I got 100 people. Like, no matter what, even at the end of the day, it's the last person you're talking to. I still have 100 people to talk to, right? Creating certainty, I already covered this a little bit, but eye contact, body language, image. Image is so important. Image, people are making snap judgments on you instantly, and you can have images over the phone too. Even if they can't see you, what's your tonality? That's part of your image. Well, what are the words you're using? That's part of your image. How do you speak? It's part of your image. But even before you start speaking, if you're doing in-person, door-to-door, event style, whatever it is, face-to-face, people, before this first words come out of your mouth, they're like looking you up and down and they're making snap judgments. They're like, is this person sharp? Is this person somebody I want to talk to? Is this person, I don't want to talk to this person. Are they on their phone like this, hunched over, bad posture? I don't want to talk to that person. I want to make like an S line around that person and get away from them. Make sure they don't accidentally pitch me or see me out of the corner of their eye, right? So what's your image? This image, you ever heard the phrase, image is everything? Well, that's why. Image is everything, because we're not supposed to prejudge. We're salespeople. We talk to everybody. We don't prejudge anybody. Just because we think they're going to fail credit doesn't mean we're not going to pitch them. They might be a multimillionaire. They have three properties. They just dress down because they don't want to be sold. But they're definitely prejudging you. Build rapport. Make a friend. It's a lot easier to say no to a salesperson. It's not so easy to say no to Devon. It's not so easy to say no to your buddy, right? So when you build rapport, you make a friend. And then empathizing, having empathy toward all of their concerns, all of their objections, even when you know they're wrong or you've heard that objection 1,000 times and you know the canned answer to it. If you're smart about it, you still tilt your head a little bit, you listen, you agree with them, you relate to them. Hey, yeah, I used to think the same thing. I used to think the same way before I started working for this company. Actually, you know what? I'm glad you bring that up. My uncle used to say the same thing. The last 5 of the last 10 people I signed up actually brought up that same exact thing. So I'm so glad you asked that. Empathize with them. Because the more you empathize with them, the more that they feel you understand them. Does that make sense? So when they feel you understand them, it's going to be a lot harder for them to say no to you. It's going to be a lot harder for them to not trust you, right? So the only 3 reasons they don't buy is I'm not buying an iPhone. I don't care. I use Android, right? You can't sell me an asphalt driveway if I'm renting my house. I'm not going to buy a driveway, right? If I'm not in the market, I'm not in the market. Let's say you're selling meat door to door and you're trying to sell to a vegan. It's not going to happen, right? Even if you bring all the science of like how great the carnivore diet is, it doesn't matter. The vegan's not going to buy your meat off your meat truck. They don't trust your product or service. That's an easy one to get over. That's our job. They don't trust you. This is the one. That's why they're not signing up. So you got to build trust, build credibility, and we talked about how to do that. Appreciate y'all coming down. Make sure to join the Facebook community and check out my other video I got here if you want to see how to close more deals. Thank you for coming down. Take care.